Hello gamers and welcome back to NeueCraft, my first ever private SMP experience here on Minecraft 1.19. So, we have been a little bit busy in between episodes. When we left last time, we had just finished doing some base decorations and I've been continuing to do that. There's still one or two grey walls down here I want to hide, but for the most part we're looking pretty good. Been tidying up all of this, and check this out down here. We have been creating ourselves a very special little area where we can get down to our mines and trying to use a lot more of these new mud bricks and such. So this is my new mining area. This is the elevator back up. This is the one that's drop chute going all the way down. And yeah, we've got like a water source that sort of comes in and loops around here as part of the aesthetic, and yeah, it kind of looks like a broken down abandoned mine shaft, and I love it. You have to try doing a lot more with these types of blocks in the game. We also did some mini farms which are up here, and our mud farm to get all that mud to help us do those builds, and put in a couple of mini farms up here for wheat and glow lichen. So today I'm keen to do a few more of those. Might get around to that today. But yeah, there's a couple of other things on my list I'm keen to look at this episode. So one of the things I worked on quite a few episodes ago now is right outside the base here. And it's the village. It's right underneath us here. See, you can barely even see it. It's so small. I built this originally because I felt that my side of the river needed a village. We got Harlock's village over here, and Harlock land and Dark John land over this side, and it felt like it needed something. I tried making this village, and I don't feel I succeeded in creating something great, and the fact I haven't touched it since I did this is very telling of that fact. I really enjoyed doing all the interiors and everything in here, but exterior aesthetic builds like this aren't really my strong point, I would say, and I think this village shows that. There's a couple of key flaws, I think, with what I did here. I love the colourful nature of it, but yeah, I don't think it works as a overall thing. There's not a consistent aesthetic, and yeah, a lot of them aren't finished, as you can see. So I think we're going to completely replace this with something new. Now, these builds, they're not all bad. There's a lot to like about them, and a lot of stuff that I want to carry forwards into whatever I do next. Specifically, I want to make them feel like, I want to make this feel like a community, like there's an actual little village here, and one of the things I want to fix about this is to make it more expandable as a village. I think sort of jamming all of the houses right up against each other so that there's no sort of distinct buildings, they're just sort of one homogeneous connected lump, is part of what makes this chaotic and difficult to expand. Whereas if I make them separate standalone buildings, I can bunch a couple close together, I can stick a few a bit further out and sort of connect them up with pathways and stuff. I think that'll help a lot. And then build style. I need to I like the idea of colour and making it an interesting colourful village. And the lore behind this is that they're meant to be the people who built the temple that is now my base. The civilization that built this. So this will be the village where they all actually live. And we'll connect it up to the path down here eventually is the idea, and the bridge coming over this side of the river, and we'll probably put another bridge in over there. So I think the longer term vision is to make the village extend all the way out to here, really, across this whole hillside. They're kind of like a hill tribe. And I want to sort of preserve that feeling of the village being in the hillside and not just like being a leveled out area. I don't want to flatten this whole thing out and create a flat area. I do want it to feel sort of multi-dimensional, lots of buildings at different heights as well. I want more of a variety of size of building going in here, because all of these are kind of similar sized, which means nothing really stands out. They all just kind of blend in together, and it adds to that noise factor again. So step number one here, I'm going to go grab a load of shulker boxes to store everything in, because I'm going to tear this down completely and give ourselves a blank canvas to be able to start this process all over again. So there we have it. We have excavated away a rather large area here. I do remember that much earlier on in the season this was a big old canyon and I filled it in with cobble, as you can see here, so that was a bit of a pain to remove a lot of that again. But the old village is gone, as is most of the rest of the landscape here, giving me a fresh canvas on which to build this. I'm going to build up some definition back up again into this. I'm probably going to replace some of this hillside as well, back with some stone again as I fill in the gaps, but it's good to have a sort of fresh canvas. So I'm going to build one building first, which I'm going to put somewhere just over here, and I think it's going to be the biggest building in the village. It's going to be like a watchtower, I think, that's going to, you know, feel fitting for the size of the hill and the environment in which it's going to sit. And then slowly we'll add other buildings to it, bit by bit. So let's jump straight into the next time lapse and get this tower built. So, the first tower of the village is done. What do we think? I'm pretty proud of this one, actually. I'm really enjoying using the new blocks, so that was part of the challenge of this, and what I want to be kind of the theme of the village, using a lot of the new blocks. These new mud bricks and the packed mud. I love it. I really love it, and I'm using it with some mangrove wood in this case to bring in the colour, the red in this instance. And the frog lamps, of course, I think they look fantastic when you use the mangrove trapdoors on them. And then just mixing in some blocks. We've got some terracotta in here, we've got some dirt. Let's go into free cam, we can have a good look. So just really mixing up the texture. Two different types of terracotta to bring in some wood. We've got the dark oak stripped going into dark oak logs and going into nether bricks here to sort of give some shadows. And then, yeah, just using some sort of accents of the mangrove woods, the mangrove signs around the outside here, just to give a little extra texture. I really love the way these guys look. I think they look great. We've got buttons, a little bit of extra trapdoorage around there. Even using, I forget what these blocks are called, the ones with the darker bit at the top to give it a bit of sort of gradient to imply extra shadow going on there. And then we've got these sort of nether brick struts that sort of are structurally reinforcing the roof here and holding this whole thing together, creating this lattice on top that the roof is all connected to. And then, yeah, mangrove plank roof. Really liking this flat roof design. I think I might make this a bit of a theme for the village. With the little peaks in the center, it kind of feels a little temple-y. Buttoned across the top, partly for decoration, partly for spawn proofing. These are bottom slabs, so these are top. So yeah, those buttons help reduce the spawns. And I'm, yeah, overall very happy with this indeed. Gotta like the candles. And then on the inside, we have our central spiral staircase going all the way up, so it's totally accessible. There's not going to be much function to this building. I think this is more of like a lookout tower, so I'm not going to fill it full of stuff. But I like it. It's nice. This will probably be the tallest in the village. And I'm keen to continue this mud brick theme throughout. Continue to play around with what that means, what it looks like, and then perhaps play with some other colours. I do want to preserve the colourful nature of the village that the old one had. Just with a little bit more theming. So we'll do some, this is like the red one, so maybe we'll use a different type of wood other than mangrove in another one, but keep the underlying themes of the mud brick patterns there. Of course, I still need to figure out what to do with the rest of the landscape. I've sort of landscaped this into the surrounding terrain a little bit. Still a bit of patching up to do here and there. So I think I'm going to flesh out the rest of this first, and then we can figure out where we're going to put our next buildings. But an obvious place, obviously we've got a big space here and a big space here. I think are the two obvious next places to put those buildings in. So I think that is what we're going to do next. And just like that, we are done. Look at this. The village of the people who built the temple is beginning to take shape, and I'm loving it. Let's take a little look from the air. Went 4 buildings now in total in this little community. We are going to grow it, that is the intention. Slowly around the hillside here, I believe. Over this hilly area right here. But for now, I'm very happy with how this turned out. The flat roofers have landed. And the colour scheming, I think, worked rather well in the end. That we ended up with this combination of colours. The mud bricks is like the perfect base colour. It blends in really well with the hillsides and all the dirt, and it just allows the colour highlight stuff to pop. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put on some shaders. Let's treat ourselves and have a little look at this with those. Just a sec. Boom. There we go. That looks different, doesn't it? Just turned on BSL shaders here. And yeah, wow, the world looks very different. I don't play like this because I honestly find it a bit distracting, and the performance isn't fantastic. What are we getting here? Yeah, 40 FPS. Not amazing. But this looks fantastic. Look at this with the real lighting and the shadows. Oh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's go take a closer look. So I put a path in, and that goes all the way down to the river. So we're going to have a little path network, and that really helps bring all of these together. And the lighting is kind of interesting on these. So yeah, the first one we did the frog lamps with the mangrove trapdoors, and we sort of continued that on, that theme on. So we've got frog lamps in the walls of a lot of these buildings, in the ceiling of this one in here. I actually covered it up on the inside. Let's have a look in here. I'd yet to do a bit more interior work I want to have in here, but this has like a little 2-level thing. There's lighting hidden in the wall here. And then, yeah, this guy over here, again, needs a bit more interior work, but yeah, the idea being this would be a little house for someone to live, of course. So we're going to make it and style it in that theme. And the other 2 towers, so you get to one of them by walking around the path up here. This one is kind of interesting. So it extends all the way down to this level, but it goes into the hillside itself. And using all this sort of LED lighting, this one, again, is just like another lookout tower. So I put in a water elevator into this one. And away back down again. That's easy to fall through. This is the second lookout. You can see here, we can look across all of Harlock Land in the distance, and the rest of the village from here. That's pretty cool. Ended up with some windows facing into the cliffside, but that doesn't matter. And we've got a drop chute down to water here. And out. And yeah, very happy with this indeed. I like using this sort of glowing sign approach, just to add a little bit of extra texture in places and lighting. It just sort of makes it pop. It sort of implies there's some technology here, some ancient technology that these people knew how to utilize with the lighting and the signs. And I like that a lot. And how does this look in here with the shaders on? It looks gorgeous. Oh, that's a long staircase. Whew. And yeah, from up here we can see everything. The flat roof of the other tower that's down there, and then yeah, the other buildings from below. You can see the lighting I put in above on that one, and there's a little bit out the front. Yeah, I'm super happy with how this has come along. So the intention would be to extend this and to have it look, as you can see, it looks very different to Harlock Land over here. So this is a completely different tribe, and this mighty river separates the two civilizations. But I think I can imagine these people having built the temple that I am living in. It feels doable. Like their houses are made of mud bricks, simpler materials, but lavished with some technological extra bits and pieces. And it's still been here some time, it's overgrown, but it's much more colourful and lively and individual. Like it feels like different people live in these houses. That's what I like about the colour theming. And it's just starting to, sun's going down, so we're starting to see the lighting really come into effect here. It'd be nice to see this at night actually, with the shaders on. And yeah, but there's common themes with they've got a sort of opulence about them that follows through into the temple with the gold and the copper and the glow liking looks really bad with shaders on, doesn't it? Wow, looks like my base has got some sort of a virus or something. Skin condition. Make sure not to use that too much if I'm going to continue to use shaders. Yeah, there's some common themes I can see between the two. The opulence of the copper and the gold here, mixed with the more resilient stone, and then we've got the mud bricks, and the exuberance comes through in the wood, in the color of the wood in these buildings. I'm very happy with it. So I want to build more of this, not just buildings. I also want to put other features into this landscape as well as we continue to extend it. But this building took me quite some time. I think we're probably done with the village for this episode, but we're definitely going to come back to this and look at this now at night. Oh, the little light sources, the pinpricks of light, even the little highlights of the end rods, just one on each side at the top there, makes such a big difference. I love it. Just switching back now, turning the BSL off. Even without, the main BSL shaders on, this just looks absolutely stunning. So Harlock got in touch and said that he's put something new over at Spawn to check out, and I hope I like the style. I'm sure I will. Everything Harlock does is amazing. Just look at all of this. This is all Harlock land stuff. So let's head on over here and see if we can spy what has changed. Let's perch ourselves on the roof up here. Okay. What's changed? Ooh, flower beds. That looks nice. And there's a creeper head. And this path looks kind of new as well. And these stairs. He's used mud bricks to do the stairs and put in some flower beds. I like it. Let's go have a closer look. Yeah, the mud bricks make really nice stairs. I like that a lot. Very cool. Oh, what's this? Oh my goodness, look at me in netherite. I don't even have netherite armor myself. And a statue of me on a lodestone in the center with all the coral flowers all around the outside. Oh, the colors are amazing. That's great. I look like He-Man. That's so cool. I love it, Harlock. As always, such a great aesthetic and lovely addition. And now we've got a sort of town square in the center. It's not just sort of grass and path blocks. This is nice. It's like a little centerpiece. Not sure about me being the centerpiece, but I love it. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Thanks. I think French has also tidied up his little cave shop in here, hasn't he? Yeah, this looks good. Sort of block materials, base block materials, I think, is the thing he's selling in bulk. Cool. Spawn has never looked better. So I was just about to go off and start doing a whole load of more work for this episode. I was going to make a couple of farms and flower farms is what I was thinking. But I edited together what I had so far and realised I've got a pretty good episode here already, and I think I'm probably going to leave it there for today. One thing I'm starting to learn about making these videos is that I need to get better at publishing sooner. I have a bit of a habit at the moment of trying to jam as much as I can in and put several weeks worth of my Minecraft playing time into a single episode, and what I end up with is a whole bunch of activity stuffed into an episode. They end up a bit long and I don't get any of the sort of rationale and the thinking, the why and the how behind what I'm building, and that's what I want to get more of in my episodes. So I'm gonna not edit this one down so brutally and leave in a bit more of my talky stuff about how I'm doing this and why I'm doing it. And yeah, I'm also quite enjoying this shader look. It does look cool when showing off these builds. I don't like a lot of things about the BSL shaders in particular. I really like the way vanilla looks. I was trying to find myself a very vanilla-like set of shaders that do the natural lighting stuff and make the water look cool. So if you know of anything, please drop it in the comments. I'd love to try and find them. And they've got to work on Mac. That's the distinguishing factor here, because not all of them do. So, all that's left to do really for today is to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this one. If you did, please give us a like. And if you want to continue to see what we're going to get up to next time, probably more of those farms, then please subscribe. We're also going to be extending the village out across the hillside. Maybe not next episode, but definitely sometime soon. I enjoyed doing this a lot, and I'll be doing more of it again very soon. So, take care for now. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.